Hey pushers, let's chat about our final LEQ for the APUSH exam in 2024 from set 1. As I've mentioned in the earlier videos, this prompt did throw some of you for a loop. The idea of evaluating the relative importance of effects just sounds kind of clunky. What it's really asking you to do is to rank the effects. So which effect of these social movements was the most significant and why? Now, if you didn't do the ranking, it's fine. If you talked about multiple effects, you're probably going to do just fine on this prompt. It's just the ranking is going to help you get the analysis points a little bit easier. There's a lot of different ways that you could have addressed this prompt, and I think one of them would have been to talk about the political, social, and economic effects of these social movements. And so in the political category, you could have talked about how there was a lot of legislation that was passed, the Civil Rights Act, the Equal Pay Act. Additionally, you could have mentioned any of the Supreme Court decisions that were going on in this period. And so that could have counted for some of the victories that happened in the period. But then also there was this backlash, this conservative movement that rose up to oppose that, and the increase in debates between political parties really grew over these issues of social change. Next up, we have the social changes that actually happened. So you could have talked about, on the negative side, a lot of the violence that occurred during the movements. So bringing up anything like Bloody Sunday as part of the Selma protest. Additionally, the Kent State shootings or the Watts riots would have worked. But then successfully, you could have talked about the advances in education, like through desegregation or even access to higher education opportunities through affirmative action. Any of that would have worked here. And then economics, you could have talked about the Great Society program and its efforts to support the social movements that were taking place at the time. Additionally, any workplace reforms. And I think really in particular would have been a good piece of evidence would have been the boycotts that took place, like the Montgomery bus boycott or the Delano grape strike that took place in California. So then finally, here's a couple thesis statements for you to look at that would have earned the point and really hit that part of the prompt related to ranking. So first, while the movements for social change introduced significant economic challenges and social tensions, their role in expanding civil liberties and workforce inclusivity ultimately transformed American socio-economic landscape. Additionally, here's another one. Although workplace reforms and expanded communities and networks were positive consequences of the movement for social change, the most significant and transformative impact was the legislative victories that advanced civil rights. So there you can see both of those really hit the ranking part of that prompt. If you just listed effects, you're probably still going to be just fine here. I hope this breakdown of LEQ 4 from set 1 of the APUSH 2024 exam was helpful for you. Let me know what evidence you included with a comment below.